So, what does it mean to let go and let God? Right? There are a lot of spiritual, motivational speakers, inspirational people, people that passed on but left us these books, right, to gain knowledge and wisdom from. And a lot of them say, just let go and let God. But, you know, what does that mean exactly? Hello, welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin. I inspire those who aspire to make positive changes in their lives. And today I want to touch on the subject of letting go and letting God. And what is it to really surrender? What are we surrendering? How are we surrendering? How do we know if we're surrendering? Right? And surrendering means different things to each one of us, right? We're all having our own individual experiences. So how do we take what somebody wrote in a book or what somebody that we follow is saying, right? Or a course that we took, or however it comes to you, how do we know what that looks like for us? We know how it looks like for them. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it looks like for me. Again, the point of this and the point of all this other material and resources that we have is for us to learn, right? Different modalities, and continue to grow and learn, and take those pieces that stuck with us, right? That resonated with us. Take only those. We don't need everything that we learned, right? We have to let go of some of these things, right? That's part of the aspect of letting go and letting God, is knowing when you've learned that lesson and releasing it. Don't keep saying, I didn't do enough. I have to do more work. There are instances where, yeah, you do have to do more work. But it's another evolutionary step. It's not in the same problem, right? That issue's gone. Let it die, right? Now, if it's not, if it keeps plaguing you in some way, shape, or form, yes, you have to go deeper, but that's another level. That's not staying in that same level with that same issue. That issue has died. You have to put it to rest. I don't mean die in the sense of the mortal death. I mean, just move on from it. And it can be anything. A childhood trauma, a domestic violence situation, a violent accident, a tragedy, a loss, or success, or even losing your business or failing in some way, shape, or form. Letting go and letting God is knowing that you've addressed it, you were aware of it, and now you're just going to let it go through you, right? You experience it, you don't push it away, you don't suppress it anymore. You've seen it. You know what it is. Yeah, that may have another underlying cause behind it, or it may bring something new in, but those are now new experiences. You have to detach that from there, from that other one, and let that one go. And know that it's been surrendered to the higher conscious, right? To the universal subconscious mind, to the creator, supreme being, God. Call it what you will. And that's hard to understand because on our spiritual path, we keep doing the growth work, right? And we find ourselves getting stuck, but we're not actually stuck. We're keeping ourselves in those cycles and situations by continuing to think that I didn't do enough. There has to come a time when you say, I did enough. It's time to move on from this. And yeah, it brought this other thing up, but it is separate from that. This is something else that I'm going to experience, allow to come through me, learn from, heal, let go, and move on. So it's a process. Letting go and letting God is a process. It's an evolutionary process. And a lot of us talk about the ego, right? And the ego plays a big part in this. Now, in the winter of 2021, I started writing a book titled Dances with Ego. And to date, it has not even come to fruition or published. In fact, I lost part of it. I have a video somewhere on here that says that, I lost it. It disappeared. What I was left with was the bones, right, that I first started working with. So that was a message to me, not to get angry, not to blame technology, but say, hey, look, that process was necessary for me, for my growth. I have to let that go. Now I have something to work with, but I still needed more growth and more learning and understanding from my point, about what the ego is and what it isn't. Because throughout the book, it was the different phases where the ego comes in and pops in and shows up, and you suppress it and you push it away, but it never goes away. It's every instance that the ego pops into your life for whatever it is. Deal with that and let that go. That's killing the ego slowly, right? I'm not going to equate it to stabbing or murdering. It's not that at all, because it's actually the subconscious mind and the conscious mind not being in balance. That's what the ego is, from my perspective. So, what did I do recently? I've been doing so much work on the ego, and then recently I've gotten introduced to new material. So how does that happen? Because I'm in alignment. I'm allowing these things to flow, right? At some point you got to say, I surrender. And whatever's going to happen next will happen next. I am allowing it. I'm receiving it. I wish to experience it. I will learn from the experience, and I will let it go. And even those random thoughts that pop into your mind, start filtering those. What's relevant and what's not relevant. Let go whatever's not relevant. Don't push it away. Don't say go in time out, like I've said in other of my videos. I'm guilty of this myself. That's not how you fix this. And it doesn't need to be fixed. That's the thing too. We're not fixing anything. We really aren't broken. These are all just experiences that want to flow through us, want us to experience them. Once you grasp that concept, and it's not easy, everything flows so much easier. I'm not saying that it stops, because it doesn't. I'm learning that exponentially now. New synchronicities are happening. There's stuff right now that's happening for me that I couldn't see coming a mile away. And it's all part of the growth. I don't label it good or bad. But now I know the communication that I have with Source, with God, with the universal subconscious mind, is in alignment for me to allow these new growths to be here. And they're going to be successful. It's the other thing. You have to be bold in your convictions and your faith. Right? I have a lot of law of attraction manifestations that haven't come to fruition because I had an expectation that they would. That they would look like this. Now things are unfolding where I say, wow, that kind of relates to what I was asking for. But it's so indirect, you can miss those little signs if you stay in ego, if you stay in your subconscious thoughts, right, that you allow to come in. And I know this is all, it may not make sense to a lot of people. I'm not going to call it advanced. I'm not more advanced than anybody. I'm just in a different age or a different part of my journey where I'm really starting to see a lot of things clearly. I don't ask for clarity anymore. I don't say, that's not clear, I need more, I need more, I need more. Because that's the ego. And it's not a bad thing. Yeah, we need to check ourselves, right? But the more you surrender everything, it's already done. And one thing that I'll tell you about the ego that has come in, and I'm gonna try to create something through it. Again, I'm gonna try, but I'm just gonna allow it to unfold naturally. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, awesome. What I did recently is I was really working on my ego and my thoughts, right? Because your thoughts are just so powerful. There's a couple videos here I'm gonna link here, just so that you can go back and see how powerful these things really are, and how, not damaging, but how they're keeping you stuck and back, right? So it's time for you to recognize that your thoughts are everything, because you are creating. You're creating. So I recognize a lot of things were coming in, I have a video coming up on nightmares, and that started a new thing for me, right? I had never had nightmares before, but it wasn't something new coming in. It was something old coming up because I've peeled off all the layers, right? So that those things had nowhere to hide, and they just came up. And now I see them clearly. I gained my own clarity, and they came in through nightmares. Um, so after that, I've been working so hard on staying focused, staying mindful, accessing my alpha brain waves, staying in the flow, but not consciously, just knowing that I am. That's being in presence of mindfulness. Those are two other terms that we use quite a bit that we don't always practice, because when you're practicing presence or mindfulness, then you're not being mindful or present. Look up Eckhart Tolle if you don't know any of his work. What he says that I've read about years ago makes so much more sense to me now because I'm ready for the information. I'm allowing it to flow to me, and the understanding about it is coming in crystal clear. So hold on, folks. Hold on tight. When you're thinking of just letting go and say, I can't do this anymore, take a deeper breath. Meditate a little bit longer. Quiet your mind as best you can. Forgive yourself. Allow things to flow through you. More's on the way. Really, really, really beautiful stuff. So just allow it. Hang on. I'm trust me. I'm speaking from experience. and I'm not saying that I've conquered anything. It's just I'm allowing. There's a big difference there when you're allowing something to come in, because everything that I'm intending now is only for my highest good. Everything. So go back. Let me stop getting off track here. So I knew that I was surrendering my ego, not to my ego. I was balancing my subconscious and conscious mind so that the ego had very little room to be there. But I was allowing anything that did come in that I recognized as ego to be there and flow through me and heal, right, with compassion. But this time I was like, no, it's done. This is done. No, like, okay, we're balanced already, ego, but I am in control. The I am. I am is in control. So I was driving one afternoon, and I really I just felt the ego's trying to just come back in, and I allowed it, and I was like talking to him, like, you know what, this is it. And this is how I related it in my mind to ending this, not for once and for all, but for now. It just popped into my head, and I was like, all right, you're doing your Green Mile walk. If you haven't seen The Green Mile, that was a great movie, where it's the walk to your execution, right? Whether it was gas chamber or electric chair or whatever it was in those movies, it just flowed to me. Ego, this is your Green Mile. You're walking to your end. Accept it. Receive it with love. Be grateful. I'm grateful for the experiences I shared with you. And then I said, what would you like for your last meal? Yeah, I did that. It's not crazy. For me, it was a solution. And it very clearly popped into my head. A bagel with peanut butter from this place in West Virginia that has bagels that are comparable to the ones from New York, New Jersey, and Long Island where I was. And I don't eat bread anymore. I'm not gluten-free or anything, but I just choose not to put that into my body. And I'm like, that's what you want? That's what we're going to go get. And I drove the 40 minutes. Wasn't, an inconvenience. This is what you have to do. You have to do these things. You have to take these bold actions. This was a bold action. Fortune favors the bold. That's a good book. Look it up. So I just went. And I went to that bagel shop, and I ordered my sesame bagel toasted with peanut butter, and I brought some strawberries to cut into it, my own organic, strawberries. that was for me. That wasn't for my ego. And I sat there and thanked my ego and allowed my ego to take in the nice view with the nice people that were there. I was like, enjoy your last meal, because this is it. However, in the process, I met the owner of the bagel shop. She happens to be from Long Island, and she used to, go to the town that I lived in, Long Island. She knew it very well, and look at the synchronicity, right? It just doesn't. It doesn't get any more clear than that for me, right? That's what I was meant to do. I did it, and were there instances after that, right? Because I did a little ritual with the ego right there. This is your last meal. Now you're walking into execution, but not in those terms, right? With love and compassion. You can rest now. If you ever saw the Avengers Endgame, where Tony Stark passes on, he snapped his finger, and his wife at the time just said, it's okay, we're okay, you can rest now. Pretty much what I did for my egos. Okay, you can rest now. I've got this. So, have there been instances since then? Yes, but I recognize that it's not the ego anymore. It's just subconscious programming from different things coming back up, because they have nowhere to hide. So I'm not identifying anything as ego anymore. I'm identified as subconscious programming that needs to be balanced. So now I focus on that when it comes in, try to balance it the best I can, and let it go. I let go and I let God. I surrender it. It is the most powerful thing I've ever done, and honestly, I didn't learn it from anybody, because we can tap into that universal subconscious mind that everything's already created, and I can just tap in and go, bring that in, and that can work for anything in your life, anything. And the universal subconscious mind is God, right? It's a creator, it's creation. From my understanding, there's other perspectives on it, but again, do your research, right? People like myself can inspire you to look things up if they resonate for you, but it doesn't mean you have to do it my way, their way, the book's way, that guru's way. Learn those ways, and then integrate them into your universe, right? We are in our own universe. We create our own worlds. Bring what you want from that into your life, and start making those changes. And then when it's time to drop that, let that go. Let go and let God, and move on to the next, because God creates. All God wants to do is create. And that's all we're meant to do here, is to create. And there's a lot of things that are already created that we haven't experienced that we can bring in so that we can experience them. And there's a lot of evidence to this. The deeper you go with this, there's a young boy right now, I don't even know, 5 years old, 7 years old, who's a math genius, who can take things to the trillionth exponentially like that. He's tapped into that universal subconscious mind. Call it Pythagoras, call it, whatever other mathematician you want. Calculus, I don't know who invented calculus, call it that. Call it algebra, call it whoever. He's tapped in. He's in alignment, and he's allowing himself to receive it. Can only imagine where this young, beautiful soul is going to go in his life, because that's just a stepping stone for him. He's going to keep allowing. He's going to let go what doesn't resonate when it feels wrong to him. And if he stays in that flow, whew, look out, world. That can happen for you too. You wanna channel your inner Nikola Tesla. You want to be an inventor. Tap into the universal subconscious mind and make an intention. I'm going to create something. I'm going to invent something that's going to change the world. And then stay convicted to it with faith. Doesn't mean you have to sit there and try to design everything, right? That's not flowing. Flowing is surrendering it letting it go, and then not looking out for, but recognizing the synchronicities that are going to lead you to that invention. That's how this works. You get all the pieces of the puzzle and you start putting them together. All of a sudden, you invented something to change the world. You are that powerful. So, make those intentions. Do the work and know that it's done. Don't hang on to it. Don't cling on to it. If you are, then you need to address that, not the other thing. Now it's, why am I clinging on to this? What do I need from this? What else new needs to be healed? Because it's not that other thing anymore. And I know it's complicated, but if this resonates with you and you want to learn more and you're ready to take those bold steps, right, for your fortune, but you need some guidance, you need some resources, you need somebody to listen to you and hold space for you, I am that guy. I can be, if we resonate with each other. So here's a link to my website. Feel free to hit me up for a 30-minute decompression session. And, let's just talk. We'll know right away if we resonate with each other, or if I can help you, or if I can turn you on to somebody that can help you. But first, you have to want to help yourself first. Neither myself or anybody else can do that for you. So get to that point, and I can help you get to that point as well. So I'd love to hear from you. If you like the contents of this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm truly, truly blessed. I am successful. I don't think in any other terms. My thoughts are positive, and when I see them, right, as the observer, going in a direction I don't want them to go, I call them out. I become aware, and I shift in that moment. The more you shift things in the moment, the less those things come in, and the more of what you really want come in. And that's how you stay connected. That's how you surrender. That's how you let go and let God. So I really hope that if you're looking for some kind of clarity on this, I hope this is a message that reaches you that does. If it doesn't, keep looking. Keep looking. Don't give up, right? And don't give up on any of your dreams. If you already did the law of attraction, you put it out there, it's out there, right? Keep doing the work and allowing yourself to receive. Right? That's it. Allow yourself to receive. Be in presence more often. Don't try to be in presence. Just be in presence more often. And just don't push anything aside, or don't suppress anything anymore. Those things create new blocks. I know it's not easy, but it is if you allow it to be. It really can be. So continue to move forward and evolve, right? The little baby steps. It looks different for all of us, but in the end, it's so worth it. I honor you for watching this video and for taking these baby steps to learn more. That's what this experience is all about. What are you taking from it? And how are you allowing it to unfold for you? So let it unfold as it's meant to. Let go and let God. Surrender. And have an amazing day. Much love.